Here we go. And I can just sit around making music all day long. As long as I'm making my music, I can't do nobody wrong. And who knows, maybe someday I'll come up with a song that makes people want to stop the fussing and fighting just long enough to sing along. Let's go, join in. I believe in music, and I believe in love. Let's go. Music is love, and love is music, if you know what I mean. And people who believe in music are the happiest people I've ever seen. So clap your hands, stomp your feet, and shake your tambourine. Lift your voices to the sky, God loves it when you sing. Let's go. I believe in music, and I believe in love. Let's go. One more time. I believe in music. Lord knows that I believe in love. Let's go. Music is a universal language, and love's the key to find brotherhood, peace, and understanding, and living in harmony. So take your brother by the hand and sing along with me. Find out what it really means to feel young and rich and free. Let's go. I believe in music, and I believe in love. One more time, let's go. I believe in music. Lord knows that I believe in love. I believe in music. Lord knows that I believe in love. God bless everybody. Have a stroke and rock, and I'll see you next week. I believe in love. I believe in music. Lord knows that I believe in love. I believe in music. When my eyes closed, knowing day to day, I never knew the difference. I never carried it away. Looking for a reason, searching for a sign, reaching out with both hands. I gotta feel the kick inside. Oh, fire! Oh, fire! Oh, fire! Oh, fire, fire, fire! Hey!
Here we go. Welcome to the 10th annual Language of Love Telethon. Ralph and Ginny, you can join us again. I really want to have everybody participating. Looking at that opening video, it really took me a lot of time to create that. And this telethon, to put it together, it's been a whirlwind. It really has. Ginny can attest to that. And so could Jim. We wanted to hold it live in Long Island because Long Island has been wonderful to me on my career and in my foundation work, and just it's been so supportive and loving, and I really wanted to go back home to Long Island. And we found the studio that was going to Village Connection. Jim had sold it to a wonderful person, and he was going to work with us, and Jim was going to technically direct it. We were going to have it big, and I think while I was working on that, just it wasn't coming together, and I really heard from God that he wanted me to really reflect on the last 10 years. If I would have held this huge telethon like I wanted, I would have been so focused on the present and not gone back to the past, and really so much gratitude on where we've come from. This was only a vision, and with the help of everybody, which we're gonna give gratitude to everybody all day today. It really, it's humbling. We're at this point, and we couldn't have gotten here without everybody, everybody that involved, and even those that we don't know that prayed for us. So we're gonna go to the opening prayer, Michael. If you could show the opening prayer, and then we'll get to the show.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to this year's Language of Love Telethon. It's hard to believe it's 10 years. This is the 10th anniversary, and congratulations to Renee and all of those who have been a part of this telethon, all these telethons over the past 10 years. And so it's my privilege once again to begin the telethon with a prayer. And so please join me as we offer this prayer. And we pray. Father of all, we praise you for this year's 10th annual Language of Love Telethon event and your purpose for it. Our prayer today is that your will always be done, especially through this year's 10th anniversary telethon event. Take what you have prepared, multiply our efforts as only you can. Steer our intentions to align with your righteous will, and may all glory rise up to you when we reach the finish line and climb over established benchmarks. Father, keep us all physically safe and guard our hearts and minds from pride and selfishness. Keep love at the forefront of our minds this day. And may we accomplish all of our goals for this Language of Love Telethon, which is to bring greater awareness and a greater understanding related to those who suffer from strokes and aphasia for the most part. May we bring about more preventative measures to protect all of us from experiencing any kind of stroke and aphasia, and help us to better recognize the signs and symptoms of both. May we help to provide more funding and support of those organizations enlisted to help those who have suffered from strokes and any kind of aphasia, and provide support in general to all those on the front lines who assist those who have suffered any kind of stroke and who are recovering. And we ask this with confidence and faith in Jesus' name, and we say together, amen. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for praying with us, and please enjoy this year's telethon event.
Thank you, Michael. Father Sam is a really dear friend. He has been there from inception, even before he would pray with me. And I know that I'll always be a Catholic, but Father Sam's title is faith support, because when something happens to you that's tragic or challenging, or it's difficult. You got to go to that prayer. You have to go and you have to go to thoughts and prayers. So we want everybody to know we have faith with everybody in the world. We believe we're all one. But Father Sam has really been my support channel to get me to this point. And there's been ups and downs and ins and outs, and it's been a roller coaster, but we are so happy to be here today. So I want to introduce our panel right now. We got Ginny, who is on the board as well. Ginny has been the working on the telethon. How long have you been with us, Ginny?
All 10 years. I was with you from the first, I wasn't on the board in the beginning, but I have been with you from the very first telethon.
Wow, that's incredible. It's incredible. And Charlotte, you've been a part of our family. When everybody joins us, they join our family. When everybody comes on the show, and Charlotte has a wonderful story later on we're going to share. But Charlotte, we're so happy that you're a part of our family. You really do wonderful artistic work in the world.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome. And
God-
Ralph, what's that?
I said, God has blessed me.
Yes, he has blessed us all. And Charlotte, let me share with everybody that Ginny had suffered a minor stroke, right, Ginny? It was a minor stroke many years ago. How many years ago?
2009.
2009. And Charlotte's husband suffered a stroke. Am I correct? Charlotte? Yes, yes. And then our newest family member is Ralph, who is doing extraordinary work on the planet. He started Stroke Warrior Radio, which we are so blessed to be a part of. And we'll get to that later on in the show. But welcome to the family, Ralph. We're so blessed to have you. Welcome you. We can't hear you. You're on mute.
It's a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Oh my gosh, we love, he's got great energies, and he's just always willing to jump in, and the fact that you're streaming our shows worldwide is just remarkable. It's remarkable.
41 countries now.
41 countries. Wow.
Yeah.
Incredible. And I know I have to upload new ones tomorrow, but he asked me on Friday, I'm like, Ralph, could I wait until after I was working all night, day and night to try to get everything ready.
No worries.
So anyway, Michael, can you show the photo number 1, the Language of Love telethon photo? That was our first photo for our first telethon. And Bobby Baby Walker, I hope they're going to be able to join us today. Bobby Baby Walker played an instrumental part in bringing the telethon to fruition. Michael, you could take the photo down. Thank you. My Bobby Baby Walker and I went to where I forget how we met. I forget how we actually met, Bobby and I. In the music industry, I think. I'll have to ask him when I talk to him later on. But I think it was in the music industry. Anyway, I kept talking about having a telethon. And we went to Madhouse TV that Tommy was doing a show, Tommy, and I was invited to be on the show. And I said to Tommy, do you want to be the MC? And Tommy's like, and when you don't say no to me, it's like, that opened that window, So anyway, so we met with Tommy, Ginny, Tommy, Janine, Tommy, and Vicky. We met with them, and I'm sitting over here talking about doing a telethon, and Bobby's sitting over there talking about, let's do a show. And I'm like, Bobby, we don't have time to do a show. We're working on a telethon. But actually, it all worked hand in hand, because the guests that were on the show actually came to light on the show. So it all worked out. And Bobby played a huge, and Bobby has always been my supporter. Bobby had suffered 4 or 5 strokes recently in the past few years. So he's challenged right now with some stroke aphasia, which we'll find out later. We'll talk to him later on. But I'm so blessed to have met Bobby. Show photo number 2, Michael. This is the Language of Love family who, I hope I didn't miss anybody, but this was the beginning. This is who really got us underway. And I don't even want to start mentioning any names because I don't want to miss anybody. I know, right? You don't want to, but take a close look because that is everybody, I believe, that really played a huge part. And I will share that and under the Bobby Baby Walker Baby Love music is a gentleman named Danny. He was a gentleman from my father. That's my father's old Elmwood Park deli. And it was my father's hot dog wagon. And this is how far back like my love, for fruition goes back. Danny was a bread man and he used to like hot peppers and he used to hot the hot peppers and his eyes used to tear. He was such an incredible guy. But why I remember Danny so much, he used to say to me, Renee, you gotta sing. Renee, you gotta sing. So I always keep Danny in my mind because he was an instrumental part in me continuing to sing. Michael, you could take down that photo and put up the next photo. That this is who is on the show today. And I do want to point out for the bottom are people that were in memory this year. Lois, Tracy, Linda, my mom passed. My father was an instrumental part in my life. He passed on my stroke day. That's why I always remember that he's a very important part of my stroke work. And my mother suffered a stroke as well before she passed. So both of them they're a little wink from God that I am doing what I need to do. Amber, we had a show about her this year. Carlos, who was a wonderful person, and Alan, who played an instrumental part in our starting, career. And I met Alan through Danny, who was a very dear friend of mine. So thank you so much. Michael, you could take that down. I'm sorry I'm talking so much, but I just want to make sure we're laying the groundwork for where we are and what we've done and where we're going. And so if you could put Jim's photo up, I think it's photo number 3. Jim, that's our Jim. That's Jim, who is having a surgery. Jim, we're thinking about you and we're so happy. And thank you to Michael for taking us on because I know we're a lot. But Jim, you'll be fine. You'll be back. Thanks, Michael. You could take it down. Now, this next photo is the other photo of Jimmy, Michael. Sorry, I'm talking too fast. From Jimmy. No, Jimmy O'Hagan. That's okay. Thanks for asking. I didn't realize it. Jimmy O'Hagan. This is the dear friend who we went to grammar school together at St. Anthony's. And the reason I'm putting Jimmy up here, because if it wasn't for Jimmy and I working together in the past few years, we wouldn't have connected. You could take that down. But wait, before you take it down, let's get to work is O'Hagan Career Coaching. Jimmy is the best. He is such a positive inspiration to the world. And he does things through love. He does things because he really wants to help children and people do what they love to do in their lives and do it the best they can. So Jimmy was on our show a few times, and Michael worked with Jimmy. But if it wasn't for Jimmy, Michael, you can put that screen photo down and then put up the next screen. You Are Here media photo. This is Jimmy's. Sorry, Michael, I forgot I had 2 photos for Jimmy. But this is the Michael's business. Michael, what is your partner's? What's your co-worker's business name? I'm sorry. For You Are Here Media. Yes, but who is the person you work with? David. I thought it was, but so David and Michael are instrumental and they're really going to move forward with us in the future. I'm so grateful for Michael just jumping in the same way Jimmy jumped in, right? Jim jumped in when we lost Madhouse TV. Jim just jumped in. Okay, we'll do the telethon. So we've been blessed in our lives. We've been blessed in our lives. Where are we on our timeline here? Okay, so next I'm supposed to welcome all of you, but I did already. Thank you so much for joining us. Chris and Misty are unable to join us today, so we love them. And they're such an inspiration, and they will be back onto our show. Michael, can you show the opening video number 3? Let's get together with Tommy Marr and me, who we opened the first telethon. So let's go.
Well, I can just sit around making music all day long.
Come on, people now, smile on your brother, everybody get together, try to love one another right now.
One more time, let's go.
Come on, people now, smile on your brother, everybody get together, try to love one another right now.
Not before the chorus, because we don't want Tommy to get mad at us.
Love is brother's song we sing, and fear's the way we die. You can make the mountain rain, or make the angels cry. Know the dove is on the wing, and you need not know why.
Here we go.
Come on, girl. Come on, people now. Smile on your brother, everybody get together. Try to love one another right now.
Some will come and some will go. We were sure to pass.
Sing it, girl.
When the one that left us here returns for us at last.
We are but a moment, sunlight fading in the grass.
Let's go.
Come on, people now, smile on your brother, everybody get together, try to love one another right now.
One more time, let's go.
Come on, people now, smile on your brother, everybody get together, try to love one another right now. All right, please. Dig in your pockets, even if I don't care if it's 50 cents, a quarter, a dime. It all adds up. Like I said, it all adds up, and it's gonna. You could possibly, not possibly, you will save lives. And my God, there's nothing left to be said about that.
Yes, we're really humbled and honored to have this opportunity, especially thanks to Madhouse TV for giving us this platform and hosting our telethon, our first annual telethon. So. Pretty impressive. Did you guys get the energy that was in that room though? Like it was such a joy and so much love and so much, it was exciting. It was really good. And we're still excited about the work we're doing. Michael, could you put up the, what are they called? The GR codes, the, QR code. Yeah. So if someone would like to help us today, donate whatever you have. The QR code on the left is for the donating to PayPal, and the QR code on the right is to visit our website. And I'm telling you, we are focusing on our third mission statement. We did do it, very lightly over the past few years because we haven't had the financial support. But I think that now we have really laid the groundwork. We've established ourselves. We really know that we have this platform. Everybody is doing such incredible work on our foundation, our family, our friends, our committees, and Ralph taking us to a different level right now is really we're changing lives, we're saving lives, we're educating people. We're so I'm telling you, we're so excited about what we're doing. But Tommy, I love singing with him. He is an incredible guy. And the truth was, I didn't know that song, and I thought that it was a song that I wanted to sing to open up the telethon because it really spoke about our culture. Get together, love one another. It really does matter. I'm trying to write a book, if I have time, called To Love Them Through It, because anybody, when they're having difficulties in their lives, or they just need to be loved through it. You don't need, you don't need the heartaches. You just need to be loved through it. And everybody should be. So thank you so much for showing that, Michael. Let me see, where are we? So if you could put up photo number 7, and then we'll get to talking to Ralph. Photo number 7 is Judy Marlowe. Judy Marlowe has done extraordinary work for our foundation. She had some personal stuff going on. She had to take a step back. But without Judy, the Stroke of Luck show would not be where it is today. Her drive, her dedication, her persistence, her passion, she really did an extraordinary work for the foundation. And we wanted to make sure, and even for the telethon, she'd invite people on the telethon, and she was always a part of it. And she really did an extraordinary job. You could take the photo down, Michael, but I just wanted to make sure I was giving thanks to Judy. I want to also give thanks to Ginny live, because her beautiful face is on our screen. Ginny has always taken the telethon, and that's been her baby to really work on. And I will tell you that sometimes you don't see the work people do. Judy is a front camera person, like me. I'm a front and back. But Ginny took a lot. Ginny and Jim and I worked on the back end of all our telethons with Excel spreadsheets, with writings, they both did a wonderful job in creating this telethon. And I'm humbly thankful for you as well, Ginny. Thank you so much for all you've done.
Renee, you're quite welcome. And it's been an honor and a privilege to know you. And Stroke of Luck, that I met you at that first telethon. I know that's the name of your Sunday show, but it was. And it's just, you're amazing. It's my privilege again to work with you. I will, anything you need. My time is always yours.
Thank you, Ginny. Thank you. And Ginny, when I call her, she never bat an eye. You just, okay, I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll do it here. I'll do it there. So thank you so much. Thank you. This show, like I said initially, is really about giving gratitude about where we began and where we've come from. Towards the end, we're really going to get into where we're going, but I really need to take those steps to let people know and to really remember. I've never been the type to reminisce, because I've always been driven to get to where I got to go. But in this occurrence, I really think it's time for me to, stop, take a breather, really appreciate everybody. It's not that I don't appreciate everybody. It's just that I've just been so driven to help people that I haven't taken the time to acknowledge or to stop for a moment and thank people. So Ralph,
Hey.
next one on our Ralph. I mean, tell us a little bit about your stroke and why you started to Stroke Warrior Radio.
Well, my stroke was 9 years and 1 week ago. I went to bed, took some ibuprofen because I didn't know I was having a stroke. Wound up going to the hospital the next day. And it was very tough for 6 to 7 years. But all of a sudden, in my mind, my recovery became remarkable. And it was because of people like you, like Lene, like Stroke Awareness Oregon, like Language of Love, different organizations that I found, and different survivors that I found were choosing to be stroke warriors instead of just a survivor. So I started Stroke Warrior Radio because, we didn't know what we didn't know. And a lot of stuff wasn't told to us in the beginning that we should have known. So I want to make sure with Stroke Warrior Radio and our interviews with stroke survivors, with stroke therapists, with sharing shows like Language of Love, that we communicate to new stroke survivors the hope that is very possible. With neuroplasticity, I mean, my God, I'm off a cane. I don't use walkers anymore. I can run on a treadmill. I never thought I'd run again, and I relearned all my computer skills that I used to have. So I want people to know that the hope that I didn't have, you can have it. I mean, I want to give it away to you because it can happen to you no matter how long. It's never as good as it gets. If a therapist says that to you, fire them. Get another therapist.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We don't believe that. We do not, we don't buy that,
No.
And Judy always told the story as well with her dad when he was in the I think it was a rehab, I forget what the actual story was, but there was a doctor that wasn't, was giving them negative energy and telling them not positive things. And she actually fired them. She got another one, which is the and you don't have to be mean about it, but you got to be the advocate for your family member. I love the Oregon family. I know you just mentioned them, but what's their name again? What's the
Stroke Awareness Oregon? It's a nonprofit started by Lene Hunter, who had a stroke as well, and Dr. Goins. And the reason they started it was because they realized that there's no education out there about the warning signs of stroke. So they came up with a full campaign with fast cards. Now we've converted to Be Fast cards that we distribute over 10,000 of them a year up here in Central Oregon to different places so that people can know what the warning signs are. But then they took it another step further, and now they do support groups through Zoom, second and fourth Tuesdays. We do a men's club the second Wednesday. We do an in-person support group in Bend. So I mean, the support groups, I moved up here just a couple of years ago, and those things all added up gave my recovery a remarkable chance. I found out how important support is from other stroke warriors.
Yeah. And Lene is got the same mindset as you and I, where let's all get together and let's work together. We're not in competition with one another. We're there to better each other's lives and to support each other to be successful. So
and that's why I asked you to share your shows on Stroke Warrior Radio. I mean, your shows are broadcast every day from at 3 p.m. and 3 a.m. during the week. During the week, 3 p.m. for in our country, but we do it at 3 a.m. so our international listeners can hear as well. So I mean, it's a good thing to keep. It's the most remarkable thing to me what a family stroke survivors has become for me. Where everybody's so open, everybody's so giving. It's just tremendous to me, and I want to continue to share it.
Yep. And you're doing a remarkable job, Ralph. We're so blessed to have welcomed you to our family. We're in your family. Michael, can you show the photo number 8 slide? I think it shows the
there it is.
the lineups. Yep. That's a Saturday and Sunday lineup, but it's every day. They post different photos.
We're starting our new season tomorrow. And it's got I've got a couple hundred new shows going on. We're going to be doing music only on weekends. But we've got a bunch of new shows coming up, and I'm really excited about the new season because of all the content we're adding.
Yeah, that's incredible. I can't wait to help. And any help you need, don't hesitate to let us know. Michael, you can
Absolutely.
take that photo down. So next we have a Ginny. She's gonna, let me see, photo number 9. Photo number 9, Michael? I forget. Oh, okay. So photo number 9 is Dr. Beculus and Jason. Dr. Beculus really was, we started our show when Dr. Beculus had started his stroke and brain aneurysm center on Long Island. And he was so willing. Judy had found him. Judy got him to come on with Jason. I believe Jason's title is his radiologist, I believe. And they are incredible. And the stories that they tell, and they speak English, which is really important. And so does Dr. Littman, which Ginny's going to talk about next. But Dr. Beculus, he never says no, and he's always open for different ways to heal people, which is very interesting. And he is on the cutting edge of different support and different health. I don't know what the word is that I'm looking for, but ways to heal people and ways to do surgery and ways. So he is on the cutting edge, and so is Dr. Littman. Jason holds support groups at their center as well, the Stroke and Brain Aneurysm Center of Long Island. So please look them up if you're in that area. And also, we're going to get to Ginny next to talk about Dr. Littman. But I really wanted to bring them forth because they were on a number of our telethons. And actually, we have to put it on the cover, Dr. Littman as well. But on the cover of our website is Dr. Littman and Jason. And our friend Mark McEwen, Mark is a dear friend. Mark McEwen, Mark McEwen, he was on CBS for a long time, and he suffered a major stroke, and he is a dear friend. When he calls me, he just chats, and we've spoken just recently. We did an interview together, and we just talked about each other's lives, and I love Mark. I can't tell you, he makes you feel like you're the only one in the room, and I know I feel like it, that I am that way, but it's with everybody. He is such a great inspiration and really an advocate for stroke patients right now, stroke patients. So Michael, you can take the photo down. Then I'm going to turn it over to Ginny. And Ginny, you said that you heard a little something on the news this morning. So talk about that before you get into the Dr. Littman. And Dr. Littman is an incredible doctor. I love when we interview him. We've been doing his for 5 years at least, right?
Yeah, quite a while. He was on one of the Stroke of Luck Sunday morning shows at one point. That's where we kind of all introduced each other. But let me just jump for a second. Actually, this was on the news I saw yesterday. The New York City Marathon is running today. There was a gentleman that they interviewed who a number of years ago had a catastrophic stroke, lost everything, lost his memory, lost everything. His weight went up to 400 pounds, and he started running. And at the beginning, he said he was running away from things. Then as he got further into it, he realized he was running towards something. And now he's well, he spoke beautifully, and he's in the New York City Marathon today, which is, I respect, I don't understand people that run like that, but I really respect it. It's an amazing, amazing goal. So I just want to, and he said he is running for all stroke survivors today. So it was just, it warmed my heart that, he has brought himself that far along.
We'll have to find out who he is and
I did not
invite him. But
yeah,
we Google him, he'll come up.
I may be able to find him through NBC or something. It was
Yeah.
Moving along. Okay, so Dr. Richard Littman, I met, I had a small stroke, as Renee said, in 2009. I had an aphasia, which was crazy scary. And then Dr. Littman was recommended to me to be my neurologist. He is with the Northwell Group. He's with the hospital in Great Neck on Long Island. He is the vice chair of neurology, the chief of vascular neurology, and the professor of neurology, the Zucker School of Medicine at Hofstra in Northwell. And just a beautiful man. So we have the first video, and he comes to us and he always brings us what's happening, what's the good news, where are the improvements in treatment. The first video we have a piece of, you can find all of these on the website. It's amazing information, but this is the treatment of large strokes and how now, even if they've happened in the past, how you can get in, they can get in now and save a great deal of the brain. So if we can run that piece of video. Hi, hello everybody, and welcome. I would love to welcome back Dr. Richard Libman. This is our 10th telethon. He's our good friend of ours. He's been with us for several years now, and he has several very good topics that we're going to discuss tonight regarding strokes. Dr. Libman is the vice chair of neurology, the chief of vascular neurology, a professor of neurology at the Zucker School of Medicine at Hofstra and Northwell. So welcome aboard, Dr. Libman. It's really good to see you again. And I think we're going to start out talking about the treatment of large strokes.
Thank you very much, Ginny, and pleasure to see you and everyone again. And Renee, thank you for mentioning all my credentials, which of course are completely fraudulent, like a recent politician in the news who made everything up. Well, it's the same thing, but I'm still honored to be back again and glad to talk to you about various topics in stroke. And we can certainly start with large strokes, and maybe I could even say very large strokes. Why? Because this has been a very controversial area in stroke treatment for years and years now. In fact, ever since the invention of TPA, patients with very large strokes were overall excluded from treatment. They were excluded from the initial trials and all of the clinical work, all of the research studies, because it was felt that, look, there's so much damage that's already been done. If you're going to treat aggressively for stroke, there better be some healthy brain left over that you can save, as opposed to just having some, humongous area of brain already damaged, no longer salvageable, you might say. So our knowledge about the treatment of very large strokes has been very limited, because virtually every single study of stroke treatment, whether we're talking about a clot-busting drug like TPA, or the slightly newer one called tenecteplase, which more and more centers are now using, but it really doesn't matter. I mean, they're almost interchangeable. They're a little bit different, but they basically do the same thing. Or whether we're talking about endovascular, meaning a catheter-based type of treatment, where a catheter, usually goes through the groin, goes all the way up through the neck, all the way up into the head, pulls out a clot mechanically. That's so-called endovascular treatment. So I'll use that term from time to time, but it is kind of a complicated term. So I just want to make sure we're all on the same wavelength. That's the other, main, very aggressive and very effective treatment for stroke, which is endovascular. Some people call it mechanical clot retrieval, because mechanically you're actually pulling out clots from the brain. Well, all of the studies of both clot-busting drugs that you get into a vein, such as TPA or tenecteplase, or this endovascular therapy, which is mechanical clot retrieval, have basically said there's no way we can save people with huge strokes, because there's too much damage already. And if we can't save people, then with any treatment, all we could offer was the thought that we would be subjecting people to risk. Because if everybody thought that we can't help, and if the treatment isn't going to help, then if you use that treatment and the treatment is useless, all you're offering the stroke patient is the possibility of side effects and harmful effects. That was the thinking for years and years and years. Then lo and behold, in just the past really 2 to 3 years, people said, well, we have to broaden our outlook a little bit because there are people coming in with these huge strokes. And every once in a while, one of those people with a huge stroke would be treated maybe kind of accidentally, you might say. They weren't supposed to be treated in a clinical trial, like a research study. They should have been excluded, but they kind of snuck in under the radar. And lo and behold, some of those patients were actually getting better when you treated them, even though they seemed to have this enormous stroke. And everybody thought, what good is it? Like, what can we possibly save? And that finally gave rise to not one or two, but actually up now, just in the last 2 to 3 years, 5 additional big clinical trials, meaning randomized trials of patients who are coming in, people who are coming in specifically with gigantic strokes. So it wasn't even meant to treat the person with the average stroke. In order to get into the study, you had to have this gigantic stroke. And that could be assessed on a CAT scan. That could be assessed with some of the newer CAT scans that look at the amount of blood flow actually getting to the brain. And when you look at the brain that way, you're not actually looking at the brain itself and what's damaged, but how much blood flow is getting in. And if there's very little blood flow over a very large area, you can be sure that's a large stroke. So the patients coming in, I hope it's okay if I use the word patients. I know some people don't really like that word. It's just that doctors use that word a lot, and it's hard.
So we just wanted to give it, because Dr. Littman talks about on and on about, not on and on, but really important information, right, Ginny? He has a way about speaking our language, and I like how he keeps going back and reiterates and clarifies, but he is an incredible guy. So we're going to post that on Facebook when the show is over. We're going to post all the individuals. I'm going to send it up via e-blast, but if you'd like, you can go to the telethon on the website to view it from right now.
I would just like to further, because kind of cut it before he got to some of the meat of what's
okay
in that what they can do through the catheter is they would go in with basically a claw and pull out that large clot. And so you have this much of the brain cells that are dead, but this much around it that are still sort of alive because they may still be. So if you get that clot out, now you may lose this, but you've saved this and saved everything going out. So that's the continuation of that piece and explaining, how that all worked, and what the recovery rate then was from all of that.
Wow. You know what I'm thinking about doing, Ralph, what I could, who's this? Is I could create one video and we could show it, we could broadcast it on Ralph's airwaves. Just
Absolutely.
Dr. Littman,
I'd love to.
Interviews.
Yeah, we have quite a few of them. Yeah, there's quite a few.
Yeah, we do. As a matter of fact, we do. So I'm gonna do that all the time so that we could, because they're important information to stream.
Yeah, and really, Jenny, if you want to, I mean, if you don't mind referring him to me, I'd love to interview him for a show.
Absolutely.
That would be great.
Renee will put you in touch with him, and I'll send you on to Dr. Littman. They do because it's part of their educational outreach. So he is more than happy to give his time to helping. And as you can see, he's just a very nice man and very
nice guy.
I'd love to talk to him.
Really great guy. And we can't wait to do it again with them and yeah, absolutely. So next we're going to show, thank you, Ginny. I know you'll be back in a little bit, and you're going to also talk about the third video that we're not going to have time to show in the next segment. You'll talk about that. Okay. So Maureen Griffin, she was Senior America. Talk a little bit about Maureen, Ginny, because she's been doing videos for us and she sang live for us. But talk about Ginny a little bit.
Maureen Griffin came to New York Senior America. New York Senior America is a national pageant organization for women 60 and over. It's an amazing group. I've been with them. I was the New York State Queen in 2013. Yay. Charlotte, were you part of New York Senior America?
Yes, I was a
What year
participant. years ago, really.
Okay, a long time ago. So Maureen came to us in 2018. She's our biker queen. She'll show up in her leathers on her bike and turn around and put on her crown and her sash, and it's amazing. She writes beautiful songs, very heartfelt. She and her husband ran away from home on Long Island. They moved upstate a few years ago and built a beautiful log cabin, and they're farming and have a wonderful life up there. But she does stay with us. She has supported Renee for quite a while. So, Renee, I think you have a new video. Is this a new video or is this something older?
Yes, she actually talks about it before she does her own introduction about why she came up with this video, and it's called "Are There Bikes in Heaven," which is a great title. So Michael, you could show video number 5, please. And Michael,
Hello
you're doing
from beautiful Central New York farm country. Judy and Renee, I'd like to thank you both for doing such an amazing job of making the public aware of stroke symptoms and treatment. You are to be congratulated. The day that I'm filming this happens to be our 9th wedding anniversary, and it was making me think of our 10,000-mile motorcycle honeymoon across the country. So I'm sending you a song called "Are There Bikes in Heaven?" I dedicated it to our friend Bob Viala, who was a good friend and riding companion, and he joined us on part of that trip. So I hope you enjoy. Take care, God bless, and ride safe.
Maybe that's my fault that you can't hear that, Michael. Well, let's let it run through the photos, and we'll post it on Facebook in a little bit. But just let's look at the photos, and then you'll hear her later on.
I'd like to add, while we're watching this, that at the National Senior America Pageant, Maureen Griffin did come in the top 10 contestants. So we were very, very proud of her.
She's a beautiful person too. She has great energies and just really lovely.
Absolutely.
I'm going to try to send to Michael another video, and maybe he could upload it if that's possible for the end. I wonder where they were. Do you know where they were, Ginny? I don't know where they
They
were.
went all the way across the country. I know that they, at one point, she was, they were in Nashville. She was inside the Grand Ole Opry, not while they were having an event, but she was on the stage and sang a song there. So they covered, I don't know how many, but I think quite a few of the states.
Wow.
My wife and I did that for 6 years. We traveled the country, and she always said it was the best time of her life. I'm looking at these pictures and getting all melancholy.
Let me see. I'm just sending to Michael her video, another shot of her video. Let me see.
I've been to so many of these places. It's crazy.
That's her husband in the center.
Look at those mountains. They're beautiful. So I just sent to you, Michael, the video, just asking. We're going to stop this video, and let's see if we could come back to it at the end. Let me just, yes. So, Maureen, we'll be back. We'll be back. We promise we'll come back and we'll show your beautiful voice, and the photos were spectacular. And we all loved, envisioning us I'd love to go on a trip, but I'd have to bring my whole family because I can't be away from them for too long. And Ralph just had you just had a great grandson, right?
My first great grandchild, yes, even though I'm not old enough.
That's good. Oh, I think let me see. Oh, Michelangelo, he's ready to come in. Mike, yep. Michael, not Michelangelo, Dr. Michael. We're gonna let Dr. Mike in. We'll let Dr. Mike in. Let's see where we are on the Bobby and Kathy were supposed to come in. I already spoke to them, but we wing it here at Language of Love Telethon. Dr. Mike, you there?
I'm here.
Welcome.
Hi.
Hi. You're not on camera.
Oh, wait a second. I just clicked
That's
the wrong
okay.
thing
That's
there.
okay. So
Okay.
while
Am I now?
hi, Dr. Mike. How are you?
Good, thanks.
Good.
I will try not to talk too much because I have a lot to talk about.
I know. You know what though? But you know what? We spoke the other day that we'll have you on the show. We'll do a whole show because
Okay.
you do have important stuff. Bobby and Kathy were supposed to come on, so we'll get back to Bobby and Kathy. And we'll go into Dr. Mike's. Oh, it's Charlotte and Dr. Mike. Charlotte's first. So let's see. Ginny, Ginny introduces the Okay, so Ginny, you're gonna talk again. Why don't we do Charlotte first? We'll do Charlotte first, then we'll go to you, Ginny, okay? And then we'll go to Dr. Mike in a little bit. But Dr. Mike, you have been an extraordinary. This show is about thanking me people and reminiscing. And Dr. Mike has been an extraordinary support system for the show. He's been a confidant. He's been person that we go to ask questions. He really has been an extra. How many telethons have you been on, Dr. Mike?
I think I was trying to figure that out. I think this is the 8th.
The 8th. Yeah, you've been on a lot.
I think three was the first one I was on.
Wow. Yes. So it's been 8. Oh my gosh, that's incredible. So Charlotte, we're gonna go to you. So Charlotte Ambrose, she worked tirelessly to achieve her dream goals of 50 years by producing her new book called Heart and Soul. Heart and Soul students comment and drawings are spotlighted to inform and advocate for value art funding. But you've been a teacher forever, an art teacher, and love for students and for children. And then we'll get into the work you're doing now. But talk to us a little bit about your artistry, your art teachings.
Well, I can tell you, first of all, I am so impressed with Renee and the crew and Ginny, and God has crossed paths with all of us to help the world. So I think we're all wearing our halos, I think. And if we can save people, that's important in our lives. But I grew up in Detroit and was trained in Detroit. I married my husband, and my first year of teaching was out in California. And then Indiana, I followed my husband back east and finally back into Michigan, where I retired from 24 years of teaching art at Sparta High School. I put together the booklet that Renee just referenced because I felt that many of the administrators and people kind of are unaware of what's going on in the art room. And it's amazing. The young people.
Hello from beautiful Central New York farm country.
Sorry.
That's okay. They express their true ideas about discussing art when they got home with their parents about their future. And many of them I've been invited just recently to a 1974 class reunion of 50 years. And I found out all of their accomplishments and their interest in enjoying the arts. You know, I felt my job was not to train professional artists totally, but to make them appreciate the arts. And so with the arts, recently, I decided that I would enter a historical view of the Korean War. There is an international art competition in Grand Rapids called Art Prize. And I have been participating by showing my work every year for 15 years there.
Wow.
But this year, I wanted to highlight my husband, who was a corpsman in the Korean War, and all the Marines that he served with, because we did go to a 50-year reunion of those same men. And one of the men were searching for my husband for nearly 50 years. I'd just like to quickly show this picture. This is my husband in the lower corner.
Wow.
And they had an exact duplicate of this picture only when they were 19. And they were at what they called the Punch Bowl, which was, they said, on the 38th parallel in 1951. So at that reunion, which celebrated the end of the Korean War, my husband again is on the light blue, but Sal Nemo is a Marine who was searching for my husband for those many years to validate the fact that he was injured on the Korean battlefield.
Wow.
My husband passed away in 2017. And prior to that, we had searched for almost 20 years to find out why he was losing his balance with movement. And we went to all kinds of doctors. And in my husband's words, he just gave me these pills. I threw them away. We went to another doctor. If it gets worse, come back. Another doctor. I mean, and then those delays that you get. And my husband was an avid baseball player who organized senior men and went to the Utah Huntsman World Senior Games. So he wasn't a couch potato, let's say. But this malady kept him from really enjoying life, I guess, in his retirement. And during that time, he had 2 strokes, one in our bedroom that I certainly recognized a stroke and called an ambulance, but also one where he happened to be away for a couple hours and came back and he was talking gibberish. And I looked up at him and I said, "Could you repeat what you said?" And I recognized the symptoms of a stroke. However, I did something stupid. He had just told me in this gibberish that he just had a sandwich. But then as he concluded with this gibberish, he said, "I'm hungry." So in my mind, I thought, well, you go to the emergency and you sit there forever. So I'm going to feed my husband before we go, which was silly. So if anyone's listening, just get that person to the hospital. And recently, I had a checkup on my own with my cardiologist, and I was asking him some questions about strokes, etc. And he said, every hour that a person isn't treated, you're losing 10% of your functioning in life. And so just briefly, my issue was, I think, from a car accident. I was in the back seat of a car, and the impact of the seat in front of me hit my chest and knees. They did not address my chest area because I didn't complain about it. But years later, a year before my husband passed away, we were on our way to church, and I was going to drive. And I stood outside the car, ready to get into the driver's spot. And I claimed I needed an aspirin. After that, I do not remember what else happened, but my husband brought me into the couple steps into the house and put the aspirin bottle in front of me. And he said, there's your aspirin bottle. And I said, I can't see it.
Oh my God.
So I'd lost my sight within that little period of time. And somehow he got me to the hospital, and Dr. Fanning was my emergency cardiologist, who said my 6 inches of my aorta was mush. But I do believe it was from that impact from the car accident. So I feel if you are in an accident, get checked totally. Don't just hear someone say, oh, I'm okay.
Yeah.
In my husband's case, a year later, I rallied enough, although my family was told that they don't know how much I would retain or come back or be able to walk, etc. And I proved them all wrong, because I don't use any help in walking and talking, etc. And I do have good memory. But anyway, my husband, in our travels, we went to Thanksgiving a year later to celebrate with my son in Florida. And during the night, my husband had to use the restroom, and he did have a walker. But unfortunately, the darkness a bit and the hurry to get to where he was wanting to go, he fell and hit his head.
Wow.
And he was on blood thinner.
Wow.
And that took him. So,
Oh
but
my
if
gosh.
anyone is having trouble with the balance, they always check your carotid. But no one checked that back basilar connection at the back of the neck.
Wow. Wow. We
So
should do a whole show on that.
Pardon?
Jenny, write that down. We should do a whole show
Absolutely.
on that. We should have doctors. Dr. Mike can also join us to talk about that specifically.
Right.
Renee, I just want to interject something. There's 5 blood supplies to the brain: the 2 internal carotids, the 2 external carotids, then the basilar artery that goes to the base of the skull to the foramen magnum, and that's formed by the 2 vertebral arteries. And it goes in the middle of the brain, called the circle of Willis. And if any one of those are compromised, you're fine. But if all 5 are compromised, you're not fine. So the way God made us with that blood supply, that we have a backup system.
Right.
So that's why when people stargaze, sometimes they get their hair washed and all the other arteries are compromised, and that basilar artery gets pinched, then they have a problem. But go ahead.
Yes. And that, so. Yeah.
Yes, that's incredible. We have some photos though, Charlotte. Michael, can you show photo number? Let me see, where am I here? On her. What number are we here? Michael, do you know what number we're on? I lost my page here.
There's my 19-year-old.
Photo number 14, yes.
19-year-old husband in Corman. Doc Ambrose was called by the Marines, and yeah, he He was a great man, and we were married 63 years. So
Wow. I'm jealous.
God bless both of us. And
Yes. And God bless you for living on and keeping his memory alive. And, you know, because when you're married that long, it must be hard to be separated from someone you love so much.
yes, it was. And I was so happy to share the story with Grand Rapids and international travelers that came to Art Prize. Just mid-September is when the display was up.
Wow. We have 2 more photos. Photo number 15, Michael. Let me share what this is.
Okay, this is a bust that I created of my husband.
Wow, you did this?
Yes, I froze him at age 32.
That's
I
the age,
should have
right?
did myself.
That's incredible.
Wow,
Incredible.
Yeah,
Right? It's beautiful.
impressive.
thank you.
Wow. Wow, that's incredible. So thank you so much, Charlotte. We're gonna do a whole show with you. Ginny, we're gonna
Okay.
have to go back to doing like 2 shows a month too. I'm not that you would do it, but because I have you have no idea how many I have the list of guests and shows I have. It's just unbelievable. But we're blessed. We're blessed. And we need tons of shows for Ralph's because he shows every day. Every
Yep.
day. Oh my God.
Yeah.
So Michael, can we show Bobby's video number 6? This is Bobby Baby Walker. We'll talk about him. They were supposed to hop on a little bit ago.
To be there for me. Oh yeah, baby, I've got a sweeter song than the birds in the trees. Well, I guess you must say what can make me feel this way, my girl. Talking about this heaven from one. If you must cling to someone now and forever, let it be me. Each time we meet, love, I find
That is Bobby Baby. Doesn't he have great energies? I mean,
Wonderful.
he loves to sing. He loves to sing, and I love to sing with him. That was his performance with Howard at not even that was the inception. That was the fundraiser for the telethon that I think was done in 2011 or something like that. It was done many years before the thought of the telethon started to become to light. And he was incredible guy. I don't know where they are. They're probably having trouble getting on. But I really wanted to show that so we stay in alignment with the videos. Next, we're going to have Ginny go back to Dr. Littman a little bit. Right, Ginny? That's on the timeline. So you could take it away again. You're on mute. You're on mute.
So sorry, my husband was in and out. The Mustang did something weird yesterday, and he's out there with the generator belts and frozen bolts. The 1966 Mustang, and you know how those old cars are. Everyone said, well, the doors are banging. Okay, so this is the second video that we had from Dr. Littman. We'll reintroduce him and he'll have all his credits again. This is about with the new treatment for Alzheimer's and the medication that is breaking up the amyloid things in the brain and how that is relating to stroke. I know we're not going to show the third. I'll just make a quick mention here. The additional video that we will have is a treatment of eye stroke, where they're able to go in with the clot buster right into the vein for the eye and break up that clot. So that's additional information. But anyway, this is the segment about the Alzheimer's treatment and how it relates to strokes.
It's number 7, Michael. Video number 7.
Good afternoon, everyone, and we'd like to welcome you again to the 10th Language of Love Telethon for Stroke and Aphasia Awareness, and we'd like to just thank everyone that has been with us all of this time. And we're welcoming our friend for many years, Dr. Richard Littman. He is the Vice Chair of Neurology, Chief Vascular Neurology, and Professor of Neurology in the Zucker School of Medicine at Hofstra Northwell. And good afternoon again. It's an interesting topic that you have brought up, the impact of Alzheimer's disease treatment on the safety of stroke treatments. So I'm going to throw it to you and tell us what's going on.
Well, thank you very much, Ginny, and it is a pleasure to be back. And so now I am going to talk about this kind of emerging topic in stroke, and it's one of the most interesting topics in stroke because it surpasses the field of stroke itself and kind of extends into the field of dementia and specifically Alzheimer's disease, which is the most common cause of dementia worldwide. Just as an aside, Alzheimer's disease, most common cause of dementia, vascular dementia, that is due to stroke, the second most common cause of dementia worldwide. So Alzheimer's, the most common, stroke, the second most common. When you put them together, they account for a huge number of cases of dementia, meaning cognitive decline or cognitive deterioration, with many different causes, but Alzheimer's being the most common. Why has this suddenly become so relevant for us as stroke clinicians? The reason is that many people will know, because it's been in the newspapers, I mean, it's been in the press, that over the last just couple of years, there are now FDA-approved new treatments for Alzheimer's disease. And these treatments are the first treatments ever to be shown to actually affect the course of the disease, meaning to slow down the worsening that comes along with Alzheimer's disease, because it is somewhat relentless, let's face it. We have had other medications on the market for Alzheimer's disease that have a slight effect, but they are purely what's called symptomatic, meaning the medications that are available or have been available up until now treat the symptoms may improve memory a tiny bit, and some people notice a little bit of improvement, some people don't, but they don't have any actual effect on the deterioration that is caused by Alzheimer's disease. In the last 2 years or so, at least 2 new drugs have been FDA approved. They are kind of drugs that have effects which are analogous, similar to the immune system, and antibodies that help you fight disease and that help clear germs from your body. In this case, in Alzheimer's disease, there is an abnormal substance that accumulates in the brain, and it looks as if that abnormal substance damages the brain and results in dementia. And this substance may be familiar to some people because, again, sometimes they'll use the word, and it's called amyloid. And amyloid is a kind of protein. It's basically a protein that is not shaped correctly. And when that incorrectly shaped protein builds up in the brain, that is one of the hallmarks of Alzheimer's disease, and brain cells become destroyed. And that's why people lose their ability to remember things, to process thoughts, to plan, to do all kinds of things that we associate with our, higher mental faculties. So I'm digressing a little bit away from stroke into dementia, but I thought it is very, very important to sort of set the stage, because so many people, not only nationally, but worldwide, are affected by Alzheimer's disease. It is a major problem for society as a whole, all over the world, interfering with life, quality of life, productivity, because not everybody is 98 years old when they get Alzheimer's disease. People can be affected by it earlier, not just in their 80s, in their 70s, sometimes in their 60s, sometimes even earlier. So Alzheimer's disease is a major problem. The fact that recently we have some medications which are these kind of immune cells that can remove this toxic protein, remove this toxic amyloid from the brain, and seems to result in slowing down of the disease, is nothing short of a miracle, because it's what everybody was hoping. It's kind of analogous to the discovery of TPA for stroke. 25 now, almost 30 years ago, we had nothing. There was heparin and this and that and Coumadin.
As you could see, Dr. Littman is an incredible, very, very knowledgeable. And I love the fact that he draws something else into the conversation about strokes and the effect of aphasia and effect of dementia. It really showcases him as a doctor who cares about people in general, and really, what's the word I'm looking for, Ginny? When we gotta look at our body as a whole, not as just one part, and that is really important, that his mind thought of that. Talk to us. I mean, I really just want you to talk a little bit about Dr. Littman again, because we of course we have the videos on YouTube, and we have them we're going to put them on our Facebook page, and talk to us a little bit about it. And Bobby and Kathy are just hopping on, and then we're going to let Dr. Mike go next, and we're going to leave Bobby and Kathy till the very end. But take it away, Ginny.
Yeah, no, I just really want to encourage everyone to really look at those videos, because they're, 15 minutes long, and there's, you just get a little taste of where he's going with these. It's a wealth of information. And again, the third video that's there this year is about eye strokes, which I had no knowledge of whatsoever. It's like, if you just totally instantly go blind in one eye, there's a blood clot that's stopping the blood flow, and there is treatment now that's very successful. So, Dr. Littman is very giving of his time. And again, Renee, you always say this, he speaks English to you. I mean, he's been my neurologist. If I ask him a question, he listens to the question and he answers it in English.
Yeah.
And,
Yes.
you know, the technician that works with him, I get carotid scans every year. They do the carotid this, and they also do the intracranial, which they go through the back, through my eyes, through the side here. It's all been stable, but we do this every year just to be sure that nothing has changed. In my case, it's something called fibromuscular dysplasia, which, you know, when I was in the hospital, they were, why are you here? You're so healthy. It wasn't high blood pressure. It wasn't diet. It wasn't lifestyle. It was just, nobody knows where it comes from. I might have been born with it. We don't know. But anyway, Dr. Libman is just, you know, and we will have him again, and he will have more good and encouraging news. He always has something very important for us.
Yes, he always gives us an update. That's why we love to have him back every year. So thank you so much for all the work you do on the foundation and with Dr. Littman. It's incredible. You know, we're so blessed. And welcome to Bobby and Kathy. Can you hear us, Bobby and Kathy?
We can hear you. Can you
And
hear
your doggy.
This is Cyrus.
What's the name?
Cyrus.
Cyrus. Beautiful name.
Yeah, he's our therapy dog.
Oh, good. That's good. Hello, BBW.
Yeah.
Ah, Kathy used to call Bobby my performing husband. We used to spend so much time together. She's like, you guys are married, performing husband. Did you see the video that I sent you, Bobby? Of you singing?
No.
Well, maybe
It took us a
It's
little
forever
while.
to get on here.
That's okay. That's okay. So maybe we're going to let Dr. Mike, because Dr. Mike's been hanging out with us a little bit. We're going to go to Dr. Mike, and we're going to talk to Dr. Mike a little bit. Then we're going to come back and you know, talk to both of you who have been very important pieces to the foundation of our, you know, organization. Without you guys, it probably wouldn't have happened with, you know, a lot of pieces to the puzzle. And this show is about, you know, giving thanks and really remembering where we've come from and where we are, but where we're moving forward to. Everybody knows I got a lot of drive and passion to to change the world. So maybe Michael could in a little bit just play a little portion of that video, because I know that music is your inspiration, Bobby. Music is your inspiration and your light, and we want to make sure you get to it. But we'll be back. Dr. Mike, we love you. You are part of our family. And talk to us a little bit about Dr. Mike has various Dr. Mike shared before, he won't talk too much, but Dr. Mike has so much information in his brain that, Ralph, you should interview Dr. Mike as well. He is so knowledgeable. And what I love about Dr. Mike is his out of the box thought. He is a doctor, but he does think of other various ways to heal. When I have something going on, I always call Dr. Mike and say, Dr. Mike, what do I do? What do I do? So Dr. Mike, thank you for joining us again for your 8th telethon, right?
That's right.
Wow, that's incredible. And you've been on so many shows. So thank you for joining us. Talk to us a little bit. What information are you gonna bring to us today?
Well, I just want to start off saying that the American Stroke Association has identified that 87% of strokes are ischemic strokes, which are either, I want everybody to be on the same page and really understand what all this is about, because a lot of people don't really have a basic understanding of what's going on here. So that type of stroke is there's either a blood clot that occurs in a blood vessel, or there's an embolism, which is a clot that breaks off and lodges. So it stops the flow of blood to the brain. So 87%. 13% are from some type of hemorrhaging. Now it's either in the brain or on the brain. If it's on the brain, it's a subarachnoid bleed or a surface bleed. If It could be in or on the brain. But the problem is this, that we don't know when somebody gets a stroke because the symptoms are very similar to each other. And you probably heard you should take an aspirin. We talked about that before, about taking an aspirin. But if it's a hemorrhagic stroke, it's going to make the stroke worse. It's going to make it bleed more.
Oh.
If it's an occlusive stroke or ischemic stroke, it's going to make it better. So if you're playing the odds of 87% to 13%, you're better off. But if you did have a bleed, it's going to make it worse.
Dr. Mike, how do we feel the difference?
You don't really, because you have to
Okay.
go to the hospital and get analyzed to see what it is. They determine, through scans, an MRI, and doing a CAT scan to figure out what's going on. Because if you treat it the wrong way, it's going to be possibly deadly. But you asked me to talk about BFAST, and it's interesting.
Yeah, I just want you to, because I just want you to share with everybody the signs again.
Right. Okay. As far as BFAST, remember BEFAST. The T is a little tricky. We'll get to that in a minute because the two sources I was looking at, they had different things for the T, but I'll tell you about that in a minute. The B is for balance, loss of balance, dizziness, numbness on one side of the body. Now that's really characteristic, one side of the body. And it's the opposite side is what occurs in the brain. So if it's on the right side of the brain, it's the left side of the body. The left side of the brain, the right side of the body occurs. So that's number one sign. Now there's a difference between a sign and a symptom. A sign is something you can see or ascertain. A symptom is something you complain about. Like a headache is a symptom. We'll get to that as part of the T. E is for eyes. A loss of vision in one eye, both eyes, or just peripheral vision. I got a patient that recently had a stroke, and the only thing that they knew was wrong was the peripheral vision in one eye was off, but it was a minor stroke. F is for face. An uneven smile. You can't raise your eyebrows. A droopiness in the face. A is for an arm or a leg that's weak. You can't raise your arm over your head. Your arm is hanging. A leg is weak. There could be a leg and an arm on the same side of the body. Remember, as the opposite side of the brain. S is for speech. This goes both ways. It's either your speech or understanding someone else's speech. Your speech could be slurred. It could be loss of speech, inability to talk at all. You can't understand or comprehend someone else's speech. Confusion goes in here with this too. And T is for time. Time is of the essence to get help, get to hospital, and get treatment. But T, when another one I saw, was for the most terrible headache you ever had in your life. For a headache on the scale of 1 to 10 to 20. So that's interesting that I saw T used two different ways.
That's very interesting.
It is.
And I want to share that, we always say, and Dr. Mike knows this, is when you call 911 for a time, you should tell them it could possibly be the stroke, because they'll be aware of what they're coming for, and they'll know. I mean, they'll have to assess you, but they'll have a little intro into it. It'll probably help you up a little bit.
And remember too, to mention a heart attack. If you're having a heart attack, chest pain, numbness in your jaw, radiating pain down your arm, it could be very variable, but much different from, this situation with a stroke.
Yes.
But both are cardiovascular. Both have to do with the circulatory system.
Yeah. Dr. Mike, before you go into the next one, which is more middle-aged adults have been dying from strokes, I want to show some photos of your time with us.
Okay.
What's the photo number 17, Michael? That was when we were at Madhouse TV.
Right.
With Dr. Mike. He was always, you know what else? I have to talk to me later on about buying aloe from you. But yes, that's really a wonderful thing that you were way back when we were in Madhouse TV. Photo number 18, Michael. That's when we were at what was the name of that?
That was number 3. I think that was the
That was at their restaurant. Oh my God, I'm
Long
drawing.
Island. I think it was.
What's that?
It was Long Island.
It wasn't Long Island. I'm drawing a
Yeah.
blank at their name, but that was the third one. That was still
Right.
with Tommy and Janine and Tom and Vicky. But
I
they
think it was called Mousetrap.
Mousetrap. That's what
Right.
it's called. Yep. Thank you, Jenny. So in photo number 19, Michael, that's when that was our telethon, our first telethon at Village Connection. Was it our first telethon at Village Connection? Our
No.
first or second? Our first or second? I think it may have been a second at Village Connection, right? But that was the whole team at Village Connection, and Jim is Jim is way in the back in the blue shirt behind Kathy, beautiful Kathy, yay! And there's my BBW behind Ginny. So thank you, Michael. Thank you for showing the photos. I just wanted to reminisce a little bit
Okay. Thanks.
where we've been. So talk to us a little bit about the middle-aged adults.
Right. Well, there's been a generalized increase of stroke, and this is very upsetting because there was a decline of strokes from 2002 to 2012. But from 2012 to 2019, there was an increase of 7% of people between the ages of 45 and 64. Now, we'll get into why that was in a minute, but a little more about the statistics. Then there was an increase of 12% between 2019 and 2021. And that had a lot to do with COVID. Get to that in a minute too. But high blood pressure is definitely one of the reasons why. There's an increase in high blood pressure. A lot of that has to do with an increase in stress and lifestyle modifications, but I'll talk about that in a second. Comorbidities, diabetes, obesity, high cholesterol. Now, high cholesterol, I'm talking about very high cholesterol.
Like Bobby Baby Walker had. What? Wait. Kathy, what was some of Bobby's numbers? Bobby had really high blood pressure.
Yeah, well, not really the high blood pressure, but the high sugar. When he found out he had diabetes, his sugar was over 500.
Wow.
Yeah. And his first stroke, he was like, I was asking him, did you want this or this? And he just kept saying yes. And I'm like, yes is not the answer.
Right.
Like he was slurring his words, and he had his first stroke on his birthday.
I remember.
All he wanted to do was go out.
Yeah.
So it was like, no, we have to go to the hospital. He's like, I'm not going to the hospital. So I lied to him and said, okay, let's go out. And we got in the car, and he was like, where are we going? I'm like, to the hospital.
Thank you, Kathy. We'll get back to you. I just wanted the numbers from you, but when we talk a little bit. But go ahead, Dr. Mike.
Okay. The next is the poor lifestyle habits. Alcohol. And we all know during COVID, remember the churches were closed, but the liquor stores were open. And unhealthy diets, about 70%. And this is very upsetting because I remember many years ago, I'm talking about 20 years ago, I heard a statistic that at that point, people were eating more prepared foods than making foods themselves, more groceries. But 70% of all calories that are taken in by Americans now are ultra-processed foods. Seed oils, very interesting. Seed, cottonseed, canola, soy, corn. They're all genetically modified, which is a whole other topic. But a lot of people think that those oils are healthy for you. And as a matter of fact, the American Heart Association and Stroke Association think they're healthy. The Cleveland Clinic says no. That's why this is we always say the practice of medicine, because everybody knew what they're doing wouldn't be practicing.
Right.
It's an old joke. But in my opinion, seed oils are very bad. And the inactivity that occurred during those periods of time, because the gyms were closed, people were staying home, and all the lifestyles changed. But now it's starting to turn around again, and strokes are starting to decrease slightly again, which is good. But actually, since 2015, life expectancy has gone down in the United States, not up. It used to go up and up and up, and now it's going down. Missed doctor's appointments were very important, especially during COVID. People didn't go to the doctors. And not recognizing the signs and symptoms of a stroke. Very important. We went over those BFAST before. But the COVID...
Ralph has a question, Dr. Mike.
Okay.
Is there a relationship to the COVID, dilemma we all had?
You took the words out of my mouth. That was the next topic.
Yeah, I was going to ask, does that have any relation to the
absolutely
younger people's younger
people.
persons?
As a matter of fact, there have been a number of athletes worldwide dropping dead on the field of play from blood clots. And see, the problem, and I talked to Renee about this before, there's a lot of controversy, and this is a whole other topic, about the risks and the benefits of the COVID-19 vaccines. However, spike protein, which is caused by COVID, and also with the COVID-19 vaccines, it makes your body make spike protein to build immunity against it. Okay, spike protein causes clots.
Three.
Dr. Mike, before you continue, I want to add my little verbiage in. Of course, we're not doctors. Dr. Mike is, but we don't want to tell people how to live their lives. We're just providing information for you to go to your doctor, to work, call Dr. Mike, whatever you want to do to make live a healthy lifestyle. But this is just an informational program. So I just want to make sure I'm putting that out to everybody.
To continue with what you just said, every medical or healthcare service has one of three possibilities. It can help you, it can hurt you, or it can have no impact on you.
Right.
So what you have to do is you have to ascertain, like with the COVID-19 vaccines, there's risks and there's benefits.
Right.
Which outweighs, but when you don't know all the facts, you can't ascertain. It's like door number 1, 2, or 3.
Jenny has a question.
Mercedes. Yes.
I just want to jump in just on as a clarification or whatever. I know 3 people, Dr. Mike, who never had any COVID vaccines, all had blood clots. So it can come before even, the vaccines were available. But I just wanted to say not all blood clots are caused,
of course,
by the possibility of a vaccine.
And the other piece is that we're all different, right? We all have different makeups in our bodies. So some people may be able to withstand the COVID vaccine and some people may not. Some people may be able to withstand taking an aspirin a day. Some people may not. So you need to work with your doctor to find out that specifically.
Right. And not Dr. Google either. Okay.
Dr. Google.
Real doctors.
We should do a program on that. Dr. Google. That's a great, Rob, that's a great topic.
Yeah, it is.
Google, I want to be on your show when we do a program about Dr. Google.
Yeah, that works for me.
We're going to do it. Ginny wrote it down. We're going to do a program, Dr. Google.
But that was one of the hottest topics of the recent years is whether or not to get the vaccine. But in my opinion, nobody should be forced to have any medical procedure against their will that they do not want to have. Yes. That's a whole other topic. Yes. So what we have to look at in general for stroke and for healthcare and for your general health and well-being, God made each and every one of us to be healthy, but only when we have a proper set of circumstances. So excesses and deficiencies can make us less than healthy. So what we have to do is to try to minimize the excesses and maximize the deficiencies to allow the body's innate intelligence, which God gave us, that is smarter than any supercomputer, make us healthy. And that's what we were meant to be. So there's just 3 things to remember for stroke prevention, just general health, is to get your gut microbiome in good shape. There's a whole gut-brain connection in the immune system.
We just farted.
I'm sorry?
Kathy, you can hear you.
I'm sorry.
That's
Oh,
okay. You
okay.
okay?
Yeah, no, my brother was making my husband coffee and he said it looks bad, but we just bought it.
Okay.
Oh,
Go
I'm
ahead,
sorry.
Dr. Mike.
Okay, so gut
You know
microbiome.
what? Do the three, just start the three again, and then we're gonna have to slide on to the next
Right.
thing.
Well, that
But I
is my
just
last
want to
topic.
make sure we get the three together.
Okay.
Let's go.
Number one, make sure your gut's in good shape. And a lot of times when you have, for example, Dr. Gundry says if you have Splenda, it destroys your gut microbiome. He's a big advocate of not having artificial sweeteners. But the second thing is your vitamin D level. Vitamin D impacts about 1/3 of all of our genes. So the vitamin D, I like to see 80 to 100 with my patients. Vitamin K2 is very important to have along with the D to get the calcium to the bones and teeth, not the soft tissues and the arteries. But if you're on a blood thinner, you have to talk to your doctor about vitamin K2. It could be contraindicated. Third thing, omega-3 fats. Very important. 95% of the world deficient in omega-3. And there's both animal-based and plant-based. Ahi flour is a very good omega-3. So those three things, gut microbiome, vitamin D, and omega-3 fats. And the last thing I want to say is monitor your INR. Now, INR is a blood test, International Normalized Ratio, it stands for. It's basically the ability of your blood to clot, along with thrombin and prothrombin, which determines blood clotting, because you want that to be optimized. And a lot of standardized blood tests do not take the INR. You need to ask your doctor for your INR. Okay. We got through all the essentials I had to say.
Thank you, Dr. Mike. And like I said, you'll continue to be on our shows a number of times to provide your information. And we are going to do a show about Dr. Google with you. So
Okay.
that's important stuff. That's important stuff. So people can know. Thank you, Michael, for putting up our GR code at the bottom. Please donate to us. We're starting to really focus on the first aid, helping those that their insurance has run out. We'll continue to do our telethons, continue for awareness. Please, 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 we can use your help, even if it's like Tommy said in the beginning, $10 or $5 or whatever you can. If we get $5 from 100 people, we have $500. So we're really,
I want to say one more thing.
Yes.
About the gut. Go with your gut when it goes to doctors, when it goes to healthcare, because the enteric brain, we have a brain in our gut that communicates with the brain in our skull. And there's so many neurons there. And a lot of times women are much better at this than men, going with their gut feelings. I just had a bad feeling. I had a good feeling.
Yes.
But always go with your gut, because your gut's hardly ever wrong.
Yes. Thank you, Dr. Mike. Thank you
You're
so
welcome.
much. So we're gonna Michael, if you could play video number 8. It's Listen to Your Heart by Lori and David. They are an incredible band, and I love them, and they are a part of our organization's family. And they also are working on our theme song. They're working on our theme song with me. So I can't wait to finalize that. We have to keep someone in their lives in our prayers, because they just had a major accident a little bit ago. But I just wanted to make sure that we keep them in our prayers. So Michael, if you could show video number 8, and please donate while we're off on our break.
So I wrote this song. Can you hear us okay?
Yep.
When the road you're on becomes a roller coaster ride, over every rise there's a steeper surprise. Everyone's offering conflicting advice, hollering, let go or hold on tight. Who do you listen to? Where should you start? Turn down all the noise, lean in and listen to your heart.
Oh my God, perfect.
A familiar refrain, words worth living by. Ideals are nothing less than ideas that won't die. They only matter if they ring true to you. Inner wisdom yields a valuable clue. Tune up every sensitive instrument you got. Turn down all the noise, lean in and listen to your heart. Under the noise, hear nature's voice. Bring it to balance, sound and silence. Under the noise, hear nature's voice. Bring it to balance, sound and silence. Under the noise, hear nature's voice. Bring it to balance, sound and silence. Under the noise, hear nature's voice. Bring it to balance, sound and silence. There's always some unsettling sense of circumstance. Why approach them like unexpected games of chance? Coordinary enduring in a private stance. Take control and fly by the seat of your pants. Don't step in and check in with your gut right from the start. Turn down all the noise, lean in and listen to your heart. Turn down all the noise, lean in and listen with your heart. Turn down all the noise, lean in and listen with your heart.
That's an incredible. I love the words. Listen, lean in and listen to your heart, right? Dr. Mike was just saying that, and that's all our culture, right? We've got to love one another and lean and listen to our hearts. Thank you so much to Lori and David for being a part of the telethon. So Michael, if you could show video number 9, Herb, Be My Baby, Unknown Country Duo. I think that's the one I have. And then we're going to zoom into Bobby and Kathy because I thought it was important that we save them till last, till we shine light on them. And we'll show your video again, Bobby. Go ahead, Michael.
Hello again from the 7th Annual Language of Love Telethon for Stroke and Aphasia Awareness. We're Jenny and Herb, and this is a little number that Herb is going to do by John Michael Montgomery. It's called Be My Baby, and please, it is not to be confused with the Ronettes' Be My Baby. And this is what happens when some songwriters get together and they try to stuff as many words as they can into a song just to see what happens. So take it away, Herb.
First time I tried to sing the chorus, I put my tongue in a knot. So here we go. I know you think I'm coming on like some rhinestone Romeo. Well, I'm looking for a whole lot more than a one-night rodeo. What can I do to prove to you I'm laying it on the line? I guess I'll get down on both my knees now and beg you one more time. Could you, would you, ain't you gonna, if I asked you, would you wanna be my baby tonight? Yeah, take a chance, slow dance, make a little romance, honey, it'll be alright. Girl, you got me wishing we was hugging and a kissing and a holding each other tight. So could you, would you, ain't you gonna, if I asked you, would you wanna be my baby tonight? Be my baby tonight. Won't you be my baby tonight?
One, two, three,
you can stop it.
4,
Oh.
5, 6, 7, 8. Hi, we're Jenny
Mike.
and Herb back again, the 7th.
That's a blooper. We had a blooper on our telethon.
Hi, honey Herb.
Oh, that's funny. Oh my God. Gosh, that's funny. Oh, well, hey, we're live and Wing It is recommended and approved. That's wonderful. But Herb did a great job on that song with all those words. You're right. It was like, you know. He's a good singer. He used to he always wrote music, right, Jenny? He's right music.
He has written, and I can't say what they are because he's
Right.
not credited
Yeah.
on the music, but
Yeah.
he has written 2 songs that were major country hits.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
a number
incredible.
of years ago, and I don't know, he seems to have run out of inspiration. Okay, what are you going to write?
That's so good. That's so good. So, thank you, Ginny. Thank you, Herb. So, Michael, why don't you bring up, what did I do with that photo? Photo number 20 for me. Photo number 20. I really wanted to make sure we showcase this photo. These are some of the major people that have had strokes. You know, Mark McEwen, of course. Luke Perry, when he died at the age of 55, I think, it really shocked everybody. He died and, you know, he had a massive stroke and he died right away. He didn't even have any recovery, you know, for a very short time, but he died in the hospital. And then Haley Barry Beaver, who, you know, that was shocking, right? Because she's young and she's beautiful, and not that making her beautiful is any different, but you know, she was living her life and all of a sudden she had a stroke. And we always try to tell people that strokes can happen to anybody in any specific time. It does not discriminate. That's our motto, you know. So please just watch your health and listen to Dr. Mikey's Be Fast, and you know, take whatever you can and really care for yourself. Dick Clark, who is an incredible, you know, inspiration. I love Dick Clark. I love the work he did. He, you know, he had suffered a stroke, and Governor John, you know, Fetterman, you know, he suffered a stroke as well, and he was really an advocate for us. You could take that down, Michael. He was really an advocate for stroke families, you know, because he went back to the campaign and he fought it. He fought people thinking that he was not still a person. And I love the fact that he won. Doesn't matter about political parties. And I keep saying that. It means that someone with a stroke fought and he came back and he was successful in his fight. Like Mark McEwen, I keep telling Mark to, you know, Mark should be on mainstream TV because he's a wonderful individual. I love Mark McEwen. So, you know, so we're blessed to have been here. We're blessed to have this platform. We're blessed to have Charlotte and Ginny and Ralph and our family, and of course Bobby and Kathy and Dr. Mike and Michael, who's on the back end, and Jim and Judy and just everybody. We're blessed to have gotten to this point in our lives. Bobby and Kathy, we're ready to chat with you a little bit.
I think they're on mute.
You're on mute. You're not off of me. Let me see if I can unmute.
There we go. Can you hear us?
Yay! Yes, we can hear you.
We were putting in our coffee order to my brother.
What's that?
We were putting our coffee order into my brother.
I could use a cup too. Mine's out, but we're a little bit over, running a little bit over. And thank you to Michael for dealing with us and working with us. You know, we want to make sure we're giving everybody ample time to share their stories, but this telethon is just about being grateful and where we're going and moving forward to. So Bobby, you have been such an important force in this foundation. You'll always be a part of our family, you know, even my singing husband. So, you know, what I loved about you is when you perform with you, it's not about you or me being the headliners. It's about really enjoying the moments and really singing. And are you still singing somewhat?
A little, not very much, because of my strokes.
Yes, but you're talking much better than you have been. I know Kathy says that it comes and goes, Kathy?
Yes, he has better days and bad days.
But you're singing wonderfully. You're you know, So I want to show some photos to you, Bobby. And then we'll play your video because I know that's important just so you could be a part of it. Michael, can you show photo number 10? Sorry to do it out of order. That was the first, right, Bobby? You remember that? Was the Language of Love Telethon fundraiser, which the video is from. That was back in 2011. That was the vision. That was the vision. That was when it came to, you know, when I decided to do a telethon and we just all got together. And Bobby, you were such a wonderful support system. You never said no to me. You never said no. And I asked some crazy stuff. Bobby, I got to ask you, what do you think of me? Like, what's the, he's going to give the truth. Michael, you can put that photo down. What comes to your mind when you look at me? Crazy?
You are a great inspiration.
Oh, thank you. I thought you were going to say something funny, like you're crazy and you're dedicated and you're driven and you drive me crazy, like I did so many times.
And I think it's the opposite. He wanted me to call you last night at 11:15 because he was confused, and he said, "What time do we have to be in Long Island tomorrow?" And I'm like, "We don't have to be in Long Island tomorrow." He's like, "Call Renee." I'm like, "I'm not calling her at 11:15. Trust me, it's on the, internet."
Oh, Bobby, you were such a, and your patience and your like, you have an underlying driven force. You don't show it, but it just, you're kind of like, this is what I want to do. This is what she wants to do. Let's get it done. Let's figure out how to get it done. And you never said no to me. And I'm so blessed because of it. It's why we are where we are in the foundation, so I can't thank you. This show is about giving gratitude, and I can never thank you enough for being you, and for Kathy allowing you to work with me.
Well, gotta let him pursue his dream.
Yeah, he's always a great singer. Let's show the next photo, Michael. Photo number 11. There we go, with us all blowing kisses. That was that was a wonderful milestone. What was that milestone? Was that 5 years? No. I was October 13th, I remember, but I don't remember what milestone that was. But we're on another milestone, and that is a great photo. That's what we all are. Thank you, Michael. And one more. This one, Bobby, you're gonna love this one. This one is number 13. Do you know why this photo means so much to me? Bobby, do you know why this photo means so much to me? Can you say it?
I'm gonna bring it closer.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Maybe was it the first time you guys sang together on TV?
No, it was, this means so much to me because Bobby always had my back. And I was singing anyway at the telethon, and he was just sitting back behind me, watching me, and I knew he always has my back. And that photo is really a dedication to Bobby for being Bobby, so thank you, Bobby.
Use the big sugar.
So we're gonna play video number 8 again, just a little bit of it, Michael. Is that okay? Can we do video number, I think it's number 8. Is it number 8? Number 8? I have a line written through it. Is that the number, Michael? There we go. That's it. Let's dance.
What can make me feel this way, my girl? Talking about this heaven from one. If you must cling to someone now and forever, let it be me. Each time we meet, love, I find complete love. Without your sweet love, what would life be? So never leave me only. Tell me you love me only, and that you'll always let it be me. To a party, and everyone turns to see this beautiful lady who's walking along with me. And then she asked me, do you feel alright? And I say yes, I feel wonderful tonight. I feel wonderful because I see the love light in your eyes. And the wonder of it all is that you just don't realize how much I love you. Don't need no money for
Dance, Bobby.
I've got all the riches, baby.
Great voice,
What
Bobby.
man can claim? Well, I guess you say, what can make me feel this way, my girl? Talking about my girl. I've got sunshine on a cloudy day, my girl. I've even got Mother's Day with my girl. Talking about my girl. Ooh, my girl. All I wanna talk about is my girl.
Yay!
Amazing, Bobby.
What do you have to say about that, Bobby?
Pretty good.
Yeah,
You
and
sure
you can do
did.
it again. You can do it again. Because the brain, you gotta just focus and do it. I couldn't sing 2 years after my stroke. So we're gonna have singing lessons, me and you, okay, via Zoom.
Okay.
Okay. And
Okay.
you got to come and be a part of my unconditional love concert in April. I want to sing with you again, so everybody can come and have a blast with us. Okay.
April what?
Party. It's supposed.
Okay.
Okay. It's supposed to be April 5th, April 8th. No, April 5th. But it may be April 8th. We're not sure yet. But just keep it plugged. Okay.
Okay.
So, anything else you guys want to share? Can we do a whole show? You, me, Bobby, and Kathy?
Yeah,
Okay, we'll do a whole
there's a
show.
lot to talk about.
Okay, okay. So,
You know, especially just the difficulties of, you know, trying to take care of each other because we both have health issues, you know,
Yeah.
and it's not easy.
yeah, that's a good show that we'll do. You know, because it's hard. It's hard when you're both, you know, trying to recover. And Ralph and I both know that being single, right, Ralph?
Yes,
Being by
ma'am.
yourself, it's
It's very
hard.
difficult by
Charlene,
yourself.
you
Yeah.
too. It's hard to be by yourself. It doesn't matter what your health. So it's tough. It's tough. So we'll talk about that on the show. That's a great topic. That's a great topic.
Sounds good.
So I hope everybody could stick around and listen to me, because I want to really I want to just end the show. And I really want to take this moment to just talk about, give final gratitude, because I know I've been saying that a lot about where we've come from. Michael, would it be, only if it's possible, if you could give me the spotlight segment and put me on the screen, if it's possible, only if it's possible. Perfect. So, it's been an amazing 10 years, like I said, and I cannot believe, I'm so honored and privileged to have this platform. And really, I'm sure everybody will understand this, a second chance at life, right? Sometimes I think back to my stroke and I thank God, it must have been hard on my family. To me, in my world, I wasn't going anywhere. I was driven. I was going to really succeed. I was going to recover. I remember going to physical therapy and them saying, okay, you have to toss the ball in the basket. And I'd go, toss it. Okay, what's next? I was like, let's get it done. I just want to just be finished. I just want to move on because I want to help people. But it was a long recovery, because not only did I have my physical recoveries, but I also had my mental, my aphasia side, where I couldn't think or process. And that came on and off, and it really has gotten diminished with some, with time it diminished. And I really am so much better now. I can be in the mainstream of life, which I'm blessed. And I know it's been over 30 years, but I think back to being blessed to have a second chance at life. And what are we going to do about it? I'm sure that everybody understands, like, someone brought to my attention why I feel this way. And I finally understand it. It's an urgency that is in my heart to help people and to get done what I need to do, because tomorrow's not promised. The next moment's not promised. And that's the scary thing. That's a scary thing. That's a thing that most people don't, they try not to think about that. But you want to make sure you're keeping that, in the forefront of your mind, because it's important. I was just listening to a Mel Robbins podcast the other day, and it was very interesting. It was about a death doula, and what she said was that thinking about death gives people life, because it makes you think about every moment is precious and every moment is a gift. And I really connected with that, and I really thought that we're doing such extraordinary work on our foundation. We're honored and privileged to come into people's homes. I think people, after 10 years, they trust that we have the best interest for them. And so we're really blessed to be where we are today. But people know me. That is not good enough. I am so privileged and grateful for the past and where we are, but what are we going to do moving forward? I want to show a few photos that we didn't have chance, previously to show. Could you show number 21, photo number 21? This is Diane Bromberg, who runs a senior resource group. She has been an instrumental part of the foundation. Her and Marlon, who's on the bottom left, not the bottom left, but on the left-hand corner. You could take it down, Michael. They're part of our new wave, with Ginny and Ralph and Dr. Mike and Bobby and Kathy. They're just everybody. but they're, you know, people that really are focused on doing the work. Diane does extraordinary work. She does it from the bottom of her heart. She does nothing for herself. It's all to help people. And that's an extraordinary thing. Could you show number 22, Michael? This is Mark McEwen, who I was talking about before. Mark McEwen, he is a great guy. His video is on the cover of our website. He talks about, you know, how it feels to suffer a stroke. And he never expected to suffer one. He was on the top of the world. You could take it down, Michael. He was on the top of the world. And we look forward to working with Mark in the future so that we could help people not only for recovery for strokes, but for to prevent from having a stroke, to know the signs to have a stroke, like Dr. Mike and the team was talking about before. It really is very important. We're continuing to work on our stroke and aphasia awareness. We're continuing our Language of Love concert, which is with Bob Kern, which I must have a thing for Bobby's, because Baby Walker is my singing partner, and Bob Kern, he's a singing partner, husband. So we can't wait. We're continuing to work on the Stroke of Luck podcast and TV show, which Ralph is doing an extraordinary job streaming that. And we're going to start working with Michael, who is a wonderful person, with You Are Here Media. We're so blessed that he took the chance and just came on last minute and was willing to just help. He just, whatever he needed to do, he's like, whatever I need to do, whatever we need to do to get it done, we will. And we're so, hats off to you, Michael, for working with us and for doing what you're doing. You're doing extraordinary work in the world. The vision of the next 10 years, new campaign. This is really important. I want everybody to listen to this because this is really important. We are starting to gear towards our financial aid, helping hands. My father was always a helping hand. He always helped people without anybody knowing. And that's where this comes from. This is part of our third mission statement, to help those that their insurances run out. It's really sad. It's hard to continue to suffer a stroke, and to not only have to worry about recovery, but to worry about the financial aspects. Money shouldn't be the recovery. Money shouldn't be the result. What is it? How does I say it? Money should have nothing to do with recovery. You should, the doctors, your family, everybody should be worried about helping you to successfully achieve the best you can be after suffering a stroke or whatever you have going on. And to recover with love and to recover in peace. And I remember I went to a stroke recovery group one time, and everybody shared their story initially, but then it was talking about insurance and talking about one poor wife had to, she had to go to work because she had to successfully support her husband. And then she on her break, she was talking to insurance companies. We just want to help people, with all that. So we're really honored and privileged. We came up with, so we're focusing. That's where our money is we're gonna start to focus and separate our money. I asked someone to be a part of our organization for financial aid, and I pray that he will join us because we need him. So money should not be the determining factor in recovery. That's our mission statement, and that's where we are. So we hope that you will be a part of that and donate whatever you can to us. And if you can't donate to us, you could donate your prayers. And this is what we have. Become a partner. Join as a valued partner to amplify our message and outreach. Make a donation. This is how you can help us. Your financial contribution will directly support programs and resources for individuals affected by strokes and aphasia. And this is really important as well, to spread the word, share our mission in your network to help reach a wider audience. We have this new letter, what we've been working on over the past few days. It's posted on our website. Please go to it. It's the Give From Your Heart letter. It talks about where we're moving forward to, our visions, and it talks about, these are the key incentives: National Awareness Campaign, United States Ambassador for Strokes and Aphasia, mobilizing advocates to raise awareness at a national level. I never thought small. I never think small. Utilize social media, community events, and partnership with local organizations to spread the message. Building strong support systems, ongoing dialogue. Engage the insurance agencies, government officials, support groups, and hospitals. Host forums, roundtable discussions to discuss addressing the needs of individuals in recovery and identifying in support groups. Our RenéMarie Stroke of TV podcast and TV show, to partner for education and advocacy. And this is our long-term vision, is to manifest a Language of Love recovery center so that people can walk through those doors and leave their troubles behind as they recover, with hopefully doctors and rehabilitation specialists donating their services to us. So those are our long-term visions for the next 10 years. And we really are so excited about getting this going and moving forward. You can put everybody back on the screen. We're so honored and privileged for this 10-year anniversary. It has been extraordinary. I want to give everybody the last few moments to say whatever they'd like. Charlotte, why don't you take it away and share your last thoughts and where we're moving forward to?
Yes. First of all, I'm looking forward to educating the public through Language of Love, but whatever context I make. I'd like to mention that the name of that historic display in Art Prize, I called it A Gratitude Salute to All Men and Women Who Served Our Country. So again, it was a salute to their dedication to protect our country, and a thank you for all who serve then and now. So I'm so grateful.
Thank you, Charlotte. Thank you for being a part of our family. We're so blessed. We're so blessed. So, Jenny, go ahead. Take it away.
That man that just ran by, that's Herb. Whatever it was, I heard the Mustang revving, so he must have gotten whatever that was fixed and else on. Renee, I am looking so forward to the next 10 years and working with you, making this your dream, helping people get those clinics going. That is just such an ultimate, wonderful dream. And I have met wonderful people through your organization, Nancy McGreeny, who we really didn't speak with a lot, but I met her on the first telethon. One of the new ladies we have, Robin Bellaspirito, who came to me, friend of a friend, who is amazing, and I hope we get to see her a little bit more too. So thank you, Renee. Thank you, Michael, wherever you are. Ralph, I'm looking forward to working a little bit with you going forward.
I am too.
Wishing everyone good health.
Yep. I agree. Bobby, take it away, and then I'll let Ralph share his. You're on mute. Bobby. Take your time. We can let Ralph go first. We'll let Ralph go first. Ralph, you take it away while Bobby's
Okay.
trying to.
Thanks for having me on today. I really appreciate it. I love expanding this family of stroke warriors everywhere. With Stroke Warrior Radio, what I try and convey is that being a stroke survivor compared to a stroke warrior is a decision you need to make. If anybody wants to share their story, medical, stroke warriors, stroke survivors, caregivers, please feel free to email me, strokewarriorradio@gmail.com, and I'd love to get you on one of our shows. You can listen to us every weekday. We have shows every hour, and I'd love to share more stories and provide hope and inspiration for others.
Ralph, you're doing an extraordinary job. Extraordinary.
Thank you.
Thank you for, and I had invited you to be a co-host with me every once in a while. So
Absolutely, I'd love it.
So Bobby, can you talk, or your phone is still muted? You're funny, Bobby. It's not unmuting.
Can't you do it, Renee?
I can't. I don't think I can do it. Let me see.
Well, Michael might be able to. Yeah, there it is.
He's good. Bobby, we can go. Go.
Go, Bobby, go. Go, go, go. Go, Bobby, go. Go, go, go.
Stroke of Luck is something, is a program that everybody should watch, because many people don't know about it or how to prevent it. So they should at least listen to it one time and take it back to their loved ones and whatnot. And they should make sure that everybody in their circle knows about it, because many people don't know about it. So,
And you know what, Bobby? I love the way God works, because for you to end the show, really, you began the show with me, the telethon, and you're ending the 10-year anniversary, and you're beginning the next 10 years with us. God couldn't have planned it any better for us. He couldn't have planned it any better for us.
sure enough.
So we're so blessed. Does Kathy want to say anything, or we're ready to stream on out?
No, she's indisposed.
Okay, so we're not going to say goodbye, because our motto is here we go. I hope everybody will stay on to watch the closing videos, because it really brings us into the next decade of our foundation. It took a lot of work to put this together, and it took a lot of
What's happening over there?
What up?